in favor of the lease out at Alcova, and that's one reason that people get to enjoy the trailer camp out there, the trailer park, all of the housing that's out there. It can be managed through a lease. We've got the expert, he's going to clean up, he'll be the last one that speaks on this issue. But I think it is good for the citizens in Natrona County to have the county take care of that lease. That money that's spent out there is spent on keeping it up. There's no money that is made out there that stays in the county. As a matter of fact, the county subsidizes money to help take care of that.
Pay twice for it.
And so I'm for it.
Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah, I am too, even though I stay away from Alcova. I use Pathfinder. Mike Hagler, I'm sure, is sick of hearing from me. I wish the dock was longer. There's a Clean Water Act that actually has money available, and I've always wanted the county to pursue that and build nicer stuff at Pathfinder too. Pathfinder is a jewel that we're ignoring. We spend a lot of money at Alcova, and I'm not saying we spend too much. I believe in recreation. That's what I retired for, to run my boat at the lake. So yeah, I'm for it. It needs to continue, and the county's budget is $50 million, and are they putting it all in the right place? A lot of people would say we shouldn't spend a dime on anything that has anything to do with recreation, and I disagree. That's part of our quality of life, living here. I think she's ready to hold that up.
Yes, Mr. Winger.
Well, I'm just like Rob and Mike. I think our recreation is definitely the quality of life and the jewel of this county. Yes, I'm for it. I had a trailer out at the lake, and as my boys grew up, we thoroughly enjoyed boating on the lake. And yes, it's getting kind of crowded, and we're going to have to start looking at Pathfinder and developing Pathfinder. But yes, what would the summer be in Natrona County without the lake? And of course, I know you didn't mention the mountain, but the mountain too. I mean, that's our jewel of this whole living in Natrona County, and the rural area makes it a good place to live.
Mr. Duvall.
Oh yeah. Alcova Lake, I practically grew up on Alcova Lake every summer, every weekend during the summer as a teenager. I had a friend, we had a boat, we went out on the lake all the time, and I think it's very important that we invest in that, invest in Pathfinder too. Pathfinder is a lot bigger, has a lot more area, a lot more room. Alcova is, with all the camping and everything out there, it's pretty small. About the whole edge of the lake is always being taken up out there. And Casper Mountain, like you said, Terry, Mr. Winger.
Terry's fine.
Okay. It's a jewel too. We could do more up on Casper Mountain for more outdoor sports, and that's why I live in Wyoming, because I love the outdoors.
Ms. Young.
Point two would be for keeping that lease and also improving Pathfinder as well as Alcova. Those are two of the major things that a lot of people move here over. It's not just our great city, which is great in our county. They move here because everything is within a very short distance. You can enjoy skiing, you can enjoy boating. Your family can be with you, and that's a major part of Wyoming, is family values and being with your family. This is definitely a thing to support.
Ms. Anderson.
All right, obviously I do support lease. My restaurant, we have tons of people, tourists, and people that are potentially wanting to live here, and that is my selling point, is the fact that we have a mountain and that we have a lake. For someone that doesn't take a day off, and I hardly do, it's nice the fact that we have staycations here. If we want to go to the lake, we can go to the lake. If we want to go to the mountain, we go to the mountain. We have so much to do. When I hear somebody say there's nothing to do in Casper, I basically shoot them down with 20 different things that's going on within that weekend. So I definitely support the lease. I definitely support the recreation, and because I live it and work it and appreciate it, I'm glad it's here.
Mr. Schlager.
Well, agree with basically everybody so far. I do support the lease. Alcova, Pathfinder, Gray Reef, we've got the river, lakes, a lot of places to spend some time. So yes, I support it, and I would like to see a little bit, some, I guess, improvements at Pathfinder.
Mr. Pat?
Well, I would certainly be in favor of renewing the lease on that. I guess the other part of the question is, what would I do different, or what would I want to see different? I guess what I would want to see is maybe a little better oversight of what's going on out there with the revenuing and things. We're sitting here looking at what is it, $1.2 million, $1.3 million lawsuit possibility because of the allegations of fraud and misuse of funds out there. I just can't see how we could possibly get to that point. Where was the oversight when this was going on?
Mr. Lawson?
Well, as one would expect, I definitely would support it. And there's a lot of reasons for it, other than the fact that it's such a jewel, and this is why people want to live in this area and be able to go out to Pathfinder or Alcova or the mountain. Here's the beauty of it, though, is the revenues that are coming off that, especially in Alcova, such as the trailer revenues, the cabin revenues, the boat club revenues, and that. All those revenues then can be used right there, or can be used on Pathfinder or Gray Reef as well, under the agreement that they have with Reclamation. It gives local control and gives a guaranteed revenue stream. That if you didn't have that agreement, if Reclamation was managing it, Reclamation would be subject to federal appropriations, and I don't have to tell you what that process is like, okay? This is the same agreement, by the way, that the state parks have. As a matter of fact, the original agreement was a state park agreement.
Okay.
Next question. Please give your view of the Natrona County Parks Department and the Parks Board. Specifically, what are the challenges and opportunities they face? Do you think they need increased funding, the same funding, less funding? Are there any particular projects the Parks Board is undertaking that you don't agree with? Let's start with Mr. Wingert.
As of right now, we have, I think, 4 or 6 employees in the Parks Board. We just recently, about a year and a half ago, we hired a director, Dick O'Hearn. I think it's been a couple years ago. I think the Parks Board is doing a tremendous job right now. We're doing things such as working with the Rotarian Club to expand the bridle trail and to fix it up. We're all excited about the biathlon coming up to the mountain. And what they did, they have subcommittees. One subcommittee is taking care of and looking at the lake, and the other subcommittee is looking at the mountain, taking care of the mountain, advising the county commissioners through their parks director about the mountain. But no, I think our Parks Board is doing great. And if they need additional funds, if they come to us and tell us reason why they need additional funds, as important as recreation here in this county, I'm sure we'll help them out.
Mr. DeVault?
Yeah, I think the Parks Board is doing a fine job right now. And as far as additional funds go, everybody wants additional funds. They can always do more with more money. But as they're working right now, they're doing a great job. They got subcommittees, and they could probably use a few more subcommittees on other things so they don't have to do so much.
Ms. Young?
I do believe in the parks that are in this city, and think they do a great job of managing them. Again, this is a want, not a need. And while recreation is great, we do have to make sure that the money's there first before we say, okay, we'll allocate more.
Ms. Anderson?
I just took it from Terry that the Parks is doing a great job, since this question kind of goes with running commissioners that have been dealing with this for the last couple of years. So from what I see, and I am a regular visitor of the Bridle Trail, I like what we are doing in terms of encouraging our community to utilize our parks. But Terry, if you're saying that they're doing a good job, then I'm going to concur that they are.
Mr. Schlager?
Mr. Henderson took my statement. I was going to kind of say the same thing, that I'm not that familiar with the NATRONA County Parks, and I would have to defer to the standing commissioners that they're doing a fine job.
Mr. Pat?
Well, I think the, some areas of the Parks Department or some of the things that they do is, I think that offers a great opportunity for a public-private partnership that go along with that and try to combine some of the private use groups that use some of these entities more than others to see if they can help with some of it. Right now, I don't think they're really in need for expanded funding, but I would certainly not look down on it if they were to come in and say, you know, we have certain causes, certain reasons, or items that need to be upgraded, whether it be in the trails or whatever.
Mr. Lawson?
With what I'm familiar with, they do a very, very good job. We also find ways to leverage money or do it with in-kind services. I think Rotary Park is a good example. There is a tremendous amount of investment that's being made, and it's all by contribution through the Rotary Club, working with the Parks Department. I think they find other ways to leverage money as well. They can work with game and fish, such as developing boat docks, where they can actually get game fish and wildlife monies to also assist in developing things like that out the lakes. More of that, I would encourage more of that in the future, but I would have to say that they do an excellent job.
Mr. Hendrick?
Well, that ties into the Alcova Lake a little bit. A year or so ago, we started a long-range plan for Alcova Lake in which to spend money out there, and we needed that long-range plan in order to do that. So we're going to build some new facilities out there so that people can enjoy the park. And we're going to talk about Pathfinder as well. So that's one place. The bridle trail, we've spent some money up there, and the Corps of Engineers is up there, or the Conservation Corps is up there right now working on the trails. So that's good. The biathlon, they went to the state of Wyoming and got some money, grant money, and we're gonna work on that. And I think that's how you leverage state money to help us provide more things up on the mountain. The skiing, the cross-country skiing, you know, it takes a lot of money. One groomer is $260,000, but we're working
You're
on
out
it.
of time. Mr. Gilmore?
Thank you. I don't know how the Parks Department's doing. I hardly use the park. I use Pathfinder, and I'll get back to that a little bit. Is the money that it would take to extend the docks at Pathfinder to make me happy. This is a personal thing. I can't tell you the amount of people on a Sunday when they're trying to get in and out of the dock at Pathfinder have said, why don't the county just charge us $2 launching fee and make this dock 200 feet long? Instead, it's barely in the water. You have to call them. And so that part is maybe a criticism, and that the county is not hearing. On the other hand, the bridle trail and what they've done on the mountain is incredible, and I'm all for them. I don't mind it. It's money well spent. There is some money available to the county through the Clean Water Act, and it's every time you buy a fishing lure, about a penny goes to the feds, to the Clean Water Act. It's called the Brew Wallop Act. There's actually a guy in Wyoming that was part of it.
You're out of time. Okay, moving on. The optional 1 cent tax number 15 will be on the general election ballot in November. Do you support the tax? If the tax doesn't pass, how will you reduce the capital budget to address the loss of the tax income? Let's start with Mr. Gilmore.
Well, as a former legislator, the governor came to us. I was fortunate enough to get elected the year the state went broke. And he said, we're going to cut everything by 5% whether you like it or not. Every agency, I just want a new budget. Well, that made really hard things happen. And do I support the tax? You're darn right I do. I think that's the best, fairest way to get money to run this county, and this county is growing. More people come, we're going to need the money even more. No matter what we cut, we're still, if another 20,000 people move into Natrona County in the next 3 years, we're gonna need the money. And it just doesn't come off of a tree. It's, you know, people support it. No one's really complaining too much about how it's spent. Well, they do, but that's
All the
human
time.
nature. So yeah, I support the tax, and I will continue to support it.
Mr. Winker?
Yes, I certainly support 1 cent 15, and if it doesn't pass, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. Especially the small, you know, we have 6 municipalities around this county, and the smaller towns really, of course, they really need that money. They run their whole town, they run their whole infrastructure on that money. But of course I support it. We get about, it fluctuates of course, but we get about some years we get 3.5, other years we get $3.7 million. And it helps us out. We buy the sheriff vehicles. We have bought bulletproof vests. And that's just to name a few of the items we have bought. But of course, I support the 1 cent, and I hope the people support it out there too. Thank you.
Mr. Duval?
As far as the 1 cent sales tax goes, that's up to the people in Natrona County to decide whether they want it and how it comes through and how the commissioners now put their agenda through for the 1 cent sales tax. Because I know they count on that money.
Yep.
They count on it to do things and the roads and, like you said, the police department and helping them out. But that's up to the people in Natrona County. And if they don't pass it this year, I think they're going to have to do something really fast with the budget and probably do across the board percentage drop on everything.
Ms. Young?
I too will support it if the people voted in. This is strictly a by the people tax. And if you want it, I'll support it, and I will use it wisely. If you do not vote that in, we will have to make hard choices. And it may be a small across-the-board cut in all areas of Natrona County government. But that too is up to the people, because it's you who decides whether we get that money. Thank you.
Ms. Anderson?
I support the 1 cent sales tax. I'm a big supporter of it. In fact, we talk about it at the restaurant all the time. People are concerned about the management of it. Other than that, I think the general populace is very supportive. And I think it's encouraging to see the media obviously state what those services can do in terms of providing for the community. I wish they had 1 cent sales tax for a lot of things, but you know, for our community, we definitely need to concentrate on what's going to be good for us and how we are going to spend that wisely. And if there are some things in the future that might happen, then hopefully we've managed that money wisely to where we're not having to dip in or cut or take away people's wages or raises or anything like that. So, big supporter of the 1 cent. Please vote for it.
Mr. Trotter?
I do support the 1%. With the county, I believe I'm trying to remember how much they had projected for the budget this year. It's $3 million something. I think just over 1.3 of that goes to roads. And we have all been up here talking about growth and how important the roads are. If the 1% sales tax fails, there's going to be a huge shortfall. I don't think it's going to be a small cut. I think there will be some significant cuts. And I believe that there may be some hard decisions that are made as far as property taxes as well, if that were to happen. Please vote for the 1 cent.
Mr. Papp?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think we need to start looking at our budget and kind of looking at it with the idea that maybe this 1 cent isn't going to be there. You know, we need to start planning on that and looking at just where those cuts are going to be made, whether it be driving the county vehicles an extra year before they're replaced, and seeing if that's going to help us out, or you know, kind of where we cut back on that spending. Of course, like I said, we're going to have the other stream of revenue coming in from the lottery, but that's not, I don't think that's gonna make up for the 1 cent if we lose it, so. Yes, I support, removing the 1 cent this time, but, I really think these are questions that we really need to look at over the next couple of years and plan and have a contingency plan in place instead of be sitting up here saying, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? We should have that plan in place already.
Mr. Lawson?
Well, just everything that was said, I have to agree with, and I truly do support the 1 cent tax. And actually, I'd like to build on what Mr. Pat just had to say. I don't believe that you should just across the board start taking reductions. I think you have to really look at your budget, start having a plan, and look at what the priorities are. Public safety is an absolute necessity. The sheriff's department, things to do with public safety with the roads. By laying out a plan in advance and having a reduction plan, that if something like this would happen, or you do not get the PILT funding, there's more than just sales tax involved here, that you have a plan in place that you can then implement without just taking it across the board.
Thank you, Mr. Henry.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of the 1 cent. If you go anywhere else, you know, around the country, you're paying 7, 8, 9, 12 cents sales tax. So paying 5 here in Natrona County is not that bad. It goes to a lot of different, I was just thinking here, vehicles, machinery for road and bridge. We did put a lot of money in roads, but not the majority of it. The library funding for the collections down here at the library, that's a benefit of the 1 cent money. We're gonna do some much needed repairs probably on this building with 1 cent. And the fairgrounds get a little bit, not a whole lot, but they get some money from it. The bridle trail will probably get a little more money out of 1 cent. And the mountain, that's a good way to buy that snowcat for the cross-country ski area and those trails up there.
You're out of time.
We'll start again with Ms. Anderson. Laying out and maintaining county roads is one of the commission's most expensive priorities. About $7.4 million in the 2015 $53 million budget. What's your assessment of the county's roads?
My assessment of the county's roads. I guess I can't answer that question because I haven't been on the commission for the last few years, so I don't have any understanding of that particular question. That's all I can say.
Okay.
From what I did out there at Salt Creek, I can tell you that we need some traffic studies out there before we do any development when it comes to our roads, instead of just building things and seeing what's going to happen afterwards.
Mr. Schlager.
As far as county roads go, for the most part, I believe that they're in fairly decent condition. By the way, guys, I do like what you guys are doing on Zero Road and making it a little bit, as busy as that is out there, they're making that, it's gonna be a whole lot smoother, I believe. I don't even know when the last time is they did that one. But, I think continued work on problem areas would be one of the things that's going to need to be addressed, but especially if it comes to public safety issues. If there are some roads that are causing problems with controllability of vehicles or such, those need to be addressed. But from what I understand, there's also some roads out there that the county has been caring for that are actually private roads. After speaking to a couple of county employees.
You're out of time. Mr. Cash.
Well, obviously, everybody's gonna think county roads are not in the best of shape in some area or another. Let me tell you, I lived in Pennsylvania for a couple of years, and these roads are pretty good compared to that. I think as far as the county roads go, what I'd like to see is perhaps as we build roads in the future, or repair the ones, or redo the ones that we have, I'd like to look at the possibility of building them or repairing them to a little higher standard than what we are now. Our standards are a little different than the city road standards, obviously. But I'd like to look at seeing if we could do something on that to cost a few more dollars to do it, but compare that to the life expectancy and the longevity that might create. And I think that's what we need to do. It's an ongoing thing. It'll be a never-ending battle.
Mr. Lawson.
One of the problems that I see that's county commissioners are going to be faced with, and with regard to future maintenance of roads, is the cost of asphalt, and that had to do with the oil and the industry. Oil industry, that has been exorbitant. It's fact gone up about 300% compared to anything else. So they're going to have to start looking at a plan with about 800 miles of road systems out there, that there may have to be an abandonment of asphalt pavement and actually converting it to a good gravel-based road in some places. It gets down to a budgetary item. We talked about budgetary, it's been talked about earlier, but the bottom line is this is probably one of the most major budgetary items that I think the county is going to be faced with in the future.
Mr. Hendry.
Well, thank you. There is just a little over 800 miles of roads, 100 and some miles of the blacktop. 1 cent was used to chip seal a lot of those blacktop roads, but it's going to take a lot of money to replace those, and it's been said. There may be some that we do need to turn over. As far as the gravel roads, we're going to try to get gravel in different spots of the county and just start gravel in some of those county roads. They don't need to be fancy, but they need some gravel on them, and they need to be graded. And I think they need to be graded more. That would go a long ways to for the complaints that we get about county roads. Get out there and grade them. And as far as budgetary, we're gonna have to do what we have to do. That's the way you do a budget.
Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah, I think some of the county roads, people have a little bit of a misunderstanding. I was talking to someone who lives out just off of Salt Creek in the Blair Lane area, and some of those roads they're terrible. But the truth is, they're not county roads. They belong to the subdivision when the developer developed them. So the county's getting blamed a lot of times for a road that really isn't even a county road, and they would have no business maintaining it. I'd like to see them have the money to fix up those roads for those people that live there. I don't think most of them are still alive when they were originally subdivided and had homeowners associations to fix them. But continued maintenance on county roads is a never-ending task. It's not gonna end, and if the county needs to budget for another blade or motor grader and more gravel, I'm for it. And that's we need to direct the money there, and they do need care.
Mr. Wicker.
Well, county roads are the lifeline of this county, we all know that. And yes, we need to maintain them no matter what it takes. What we told our road and bridge guy, Mike Hager, we told him several times, we said, now Mike, county roads are #1. And then if you have time, you can go back and help people, such as on Blair Lane and Forbes Road and whatever. So, and if the 1 cent doesn't pass, what we're gonna have to do, we're just gonna have to go to the legislature, and they've been very good to us. But we're gonna have to go and plead for some of that $2 billion of rainy day account that they've been sitting on, or almost $1.5 million, billion, not a million, excuse me.
Billion.
But the counties the 23 counties are part of the state of Wyoming, and what keeps them going are county roads. So they're very important to us.
Mr. Duval.
Yes, everybody wants nice roads. Everybody wants to go 60 miles an hour down any road in Wyoming that they can. You can see guys go 60 miles an hour down dirt roads, nice county dirt roads. It's been graded. But we have really good roads here in Trona County right now. And and you don't know how nice they are till you